Welcome to the final day of the PSB Real Deal in the Ville Session 2. This is another Kyle Moore PSB showcase game. It features crossover hoops. Premier taking on the Indy Lady Gym Rat Silver EYBL squad. Game in progress. It's about 30 seconds past, still scoreless. Crossover hoops with the possession. That three launched just to the left of the top of the key by Sydney Archie. Shayla Biller over to Carissa McLaughlin. She gets her first triple of the contest. That's her first. Very safe assumption that that will not be her last. The sharpshooter and Florida commit gets on the board with 3-0 as your score. Crudup gets it to Coleman. Now Coleman works it inside. Archie in about 4 or 5 feet from the three-pointer she took initially. Knocks down that jumper right around the elbow to make it 3-2. Answering right back is number 3, Ariel Scott. Scott makes it 6-2. Coleman, tough step back jumper. That one kicks off the rim and is rebounded by Kirsten Bell. Bell fouled and will go to the free throw line. I guess that foul on the floor. McLaughlin trying to get her second three-pointer of the contest. She misses. Ariel Scott with the rebound and fouled on the play. So Scott, you saw her knock down the second three-pointer after McLaughlin's to make it 6-2, but aside from that aspect of shooting the ball, she does a great job making glue plays for the Lady Gym Rats, whether it's a rebound, helping on the defensive end. Ariel Scott does a lot of things for this squad. Trip to the free throw line is split 7-2. Joined on the mic by Jonathan Hemingway. First time seeing crossover hoops here on the broadcast over the past few days.
First time this weekend, but we've had them on the broadcast at some point, I believe. Back in April, you see Jennifer Coleman, 2017 guard, talented. Hitting that shot there for Coach Archie. One of the my favorite words to describe good teams is the word balanced. And I think crossover definitely has that, as you see Sierra Crudup hit that spot up three. They've got good guard play, and then they have size along the front line. Of course, the George Mason commit, and Kamari Gatling on the interior, and then the VCU commit Sydney Archie as well too. So they've got some balance. They've got kids that can play, you know, the up-tempo style as well as be able to, you know, rebound and score along the front line too.
Shayla Biller at the free throw line right now. Biller misses the first.
Beeler was big in our first Prospects Nation TV game back during Real Deal Session 1. A real table setter. Tempo changer, as you see the turnaround jumper there by Gatling in the post.
Hey, that was Arch.
Sorry, that was Sydney Archie.
Sydney Archie.
My
Archie
fault.
she's come out aggressive here in this one, man. So second bucket there on the inside. She makes it 9-7. McLaughlin gets the step. Can't get the layup to go. Rebound snatched out of there by number 30, Mallory Odell. Coleman finds Archie. Archie can't get the bounce. Rebound was pulled out of there by Ellen Ross, number 21. Coleman able to make it through with it. Shot under the rest is off the mark, and that one will go out of bounds. 3 subs coming in for the Lady Gym Rats. Number 22, Malia Howard Bass. Number 32, Brianna Bowles. And number 11, Sydney Dodd. So a pretty good size lineup, just got bigger. When you look at those substitutions. Good pass there by Baylor. Bowles lost the handle momentarily, and that's just enough time for the crossover defense to come in and tie it up. Timeout on the floor, we'll take one with them. When we get back, we'll bring you more. It's a 7-9 ball game, crossover hoops, leading by 2. 2-point contest as we come back from the timeout.
Good action right there by crossover. Can't get it to go. A little screener action, and he ended up slipping it back door. It's as good of a look as you can hope for coming out of a timeout.
Guy wants it inside, looking to go to work.
Oh, goodness.
Traveling violation called there. Nobody told her about that weak side. Defensive help that was coming. Meanwhile, like what we're seeing from Sydney Archie.
Archie's a talented player. Had the knee injury, a few years ago. Still coming, probably not as, 100% as, when I first saw her. But she's a shot maker. She can, as you see, hit jumpers in the mid-range, and she can mix it up on the interior. And I think she's going to be, a real difference maker for VCU in the future. You see the size, you see the versatility. A lot to be excited about with Archie.
SWAT team called there as that one's blocked by Kirsten Bell. Well, crossover retains possession. Coleman to Crudup. Crudup looking to go to work on Howard Bass. Stops on a dime and elevates for the jumper. Good work by Crudup.
I remember watching Crudup and Coleman for the first time in 2014 at this very tournament, Real Deal in the Ville. I just remember their ball handling and shot making skills, and that's what you saw from Crudup right there. Crudup still uncommitted, but a kid that's going to be picking up a lot of interest, and she's already picked up a lot of interest already, as you see Kirsten Bell right there make that mid-range jumper. Real talented kid. Heard a lot about her over the years. See why as Crossover comes back with their own little set. Backdoor action, and Coleman gets a layup that time.
Crudup and Coleman, good 1-2 connection. They're from the guard spot for a crossover. Bell misses that shot. Rebound by Odell. Ahead to Archie. Archie has that one blocked by Bell. As you take a look at some of that crossover guard tandem. First up is Crudup. Going to the left, elevating, and then knocking down the mid-range J. Archie misses offensive rebound, though, too strong. Reaching in and forcing the jump ball. They'll stay with crossover. Get out. Go get it, pick up. Go. Get out of the corner. Go rebound. Seconds to work with, taking their time. Wanted a foul, doesn't get one, so that will do it for the first quarter. 15-9 ball game in favor of crossover hoop. Their last bucket coming off of that action. Coleman with the lay-in. We'll be right back here in Lebanon, Tennessee. Second quarter. Off and rolling. Marcus Burnett joined by Jonathan Hemingway. McLaughlin doubled by crossover hoops. They're trying to force the turnover, but the Gym Rats retain possession. Good start defensively out of the quarter break for the hoops, for the crossover hoops. But that foul will go against Coleman as Carissa McLaughlin earns a trip to the free throw line. Coleman Silky on the first free throw, been relatively quiet since scoring the first 3 points of the contest off of a triple, but she can score in bunches. Archie continues to be aggressive.
Good passing there on the interior. Saw Gatling get it down the low block. No Ingles to score. Good movement without the basketball. Call that offense 101 right there by crossover hoops.
You look at some of the pieces you'll need if you're going to beat this Indy Lady Gym Rat squad, and the mixture of inside, outside, and mid-range presence from crossover hoops really helps them, because your guards are going to have to work to be able to outdo the guard core that they have, but they won't be able to do it, on their own. And you look at Archie and the tone that she's setting, whether it's on the interior or being able to knock down shots in the mid-range, is really helping open more things up for both Crudup as well as Coleman. And Scott's off the mark on that shot.
I think it starts on the defensive end too. When you start talking about how to counteract what the Gym Rats do. They've got a lot of good shooters, but they got kids that can put it on the floor, obviously. So you got to be solid. Like we've said so many times, you can't give them second and third chance opportunities. You can't do that with anybody. But especially with this Gym Rats team, you give McLaughlin more than one look at three in a possession, and you're going to be paying for it.
You see Archie Defend the aerial. Scott here on the other end, working to get over the screen. Traveling violation. Good defensive possession there for crossover hoops. You mentioned it starting with the defense. Case in point, here on that last possession. Subbing in for crossover will be number 13, Arena Taylor. Getting the bounce. There is Jennifer Coleman. Coleman makes it 19-11. Number 50 subs in for crossover hoops. Kennedy Maddox scored 19-11. It's a pretty good number in terms of Indiana. Good things happened in that year. McLaughlin in and out there on the jump shot. Offensive rebound and tied up is Ellen Ross. She's fouled on the play as she was looking to convert.
I like Ross. I like Ross's game. I think I said it on the broadcast a couple days ago. Just a perfect glue kid, a nice compliment to what the Gym Rats do. They've got, several rebounders and slashers on the perimeter, and you need a kid like Ross that'll just come in, do exactly that. Get offensive rebounds, set screens, hit the open shot. She does a good job of filling her role.
Splits the pair of free throws and cuts the lead to 7 in the process. That three-pointer off target. Here's Beeler. Beeler was looking for McLaughlin, who was rolling there right along that wing. A bit too much English there on the basketball. A good look. Pass just a little too much, so back over to crossover. Number 0, Jasmine Norman, in for crossover hoops. Crudup has it stolen by Kirsten Bell. Bell launches the three up, follows her shot. Football pass ahead, chased down by Archie. Archie baseline J. Can't get it to go. Ellen Ross continues to eat glass. Another rebound. As the assistant coaching staff for crossover hoops, they've done their homework in terms of Carissa McLaughlin. She had faked the shot and won. They wanted to make sure that the defender knew she might have faked it, but she can definitely shoot it, close that gap up a little bit. Coleman trying to go coast to coast, no good. Good box out by Ross.
That's what I was going to mention. You see Ross down there. She boxes out. She doesn't get the rebound, but allows her teammate to get the rebound, which is most important. Shasha's not falling right now for the Gym Rats. Getting some good looks. Sometimes that happens, especially after a long 5 or 6 days of playing multiple games a day.
Here's Archie. Sydney Dodd checks back in for the Indy Lady Gym Rats. One of 2 Warren Central representatives here on this squad, along with Shayla Beeler, point guard, bringing the ball up the floor now. Good defense by Crudup there on McLaughlin. In for crossover number 33, Michaela Montgomery. We come up with 3 minutes left in the first half. That three from the corner hasn't quite worked out yet for Arnett Taylor. But still trying to get loose, just her second shot. Dodd had the offensive rebound poked away. And in there amongst the trees, getting the rebound was number 5, Maya Coleman. Beeler over to Bell.
Good look there by Beeler, and really like Bell's release. Real quick, she gets it off in a hurry with her size to be able to play inside and out and understand the hype around this kid's game.
Traveling violation, will turn it over. And you can see Bell play. Bell's play speaks for itself, but you can just look at the roster. She's the lone representative outside of Indiana on this squad. She's out of Canton, Ohio. If the Hoosiers bring you on to play, you can hoop. You can't get that jumper to go. We'll have a backcourt violation. Timeout on the floor, 14-21. 1 minute, 52 seconds remaining here in the first half. You resume play out of the timeout. 7-point advantage for crossover hoops. Kayla Montgomery gets it to Crudup. Here's Norman. Norman being guarded by McLaughlin. Baylor comes up with the steal. Baylor looked the defense towards Bell and then was able to get it over to Ross. Ross too strong on the layup attempt. McLaughlin's able to find it from 3.
Good timeout talk by Coach Riego to his kids, talking about how many games they played several days in a row, talking about that goal of a Nike championship in the second half. And he said, you're down 7 right now. You just got to find a way. He said, I know you're tired, but you've just got to dig deep and find a way to make it happen. And right out of the timeout, McLaughlin hits the 3, and look at here. Gives a little fake and go, draws the foul, going to go to the foul line to try to cut this lead to 2 here with just under 25 seconds left in the half.
First free throw's good. Two subs back in for crossover hoops. Number 22, Kamar Gatling, and number 30, Mallory Odell.
Goodness, Kristen Bell said, "Get off of me." The physicalness and the touch at the buzzer.
That will bring the Lady Gym Rats to within 2. You see Bell. Weight room move inside. Gets the touch. We go into halftime here at the PSB Real Deal in the Ville. Third quarter starts with a nice bucket by Shayla Beeler. Beeler ties us up at 23 apiece. For those that might just be joining us, Crossover Hoops has led for the majority of this one. It's been a good combination of scoring plays by the aforementioned Crudup and Coleman, who connect there. The assist by Crudup, the jumper by Coleman, but also Sydney Archie scored their first bucket, and has included a cluster of short-range jumpers. She's been a very consistent force for them as well, as they currently lead by 3 after that knockdown by Coleman. So you can see Crudup kicking it out. That's way too much space for Coleman. That's easy money. Crossover Hoops, led by head coach Torrance J. Archie. Lady Gym Rats, led by head coach Danny Riego. Scott turning the corner, good lay-in there, was able to get around Mallory Odell, who forced a tough move to be able to finish. Now we'll see Archie wheeling and dealing along the baseline. Fouled on the floor. Offensive rebound by Odell, and one. So foul goes against Butler. Sorry, Bell, Kirsten Bell. Getting getting that name mixed up with Chandria Butler from the last game we broadcasted. That was Toledo Thunder versus Cal Stars. Cal Stars was able to grind that one out on the Toledo Thunder squad that definitely gave them a test. Scott knifing through, had it poked away. Here's Crudup. Crudup to Coleman. Coleman over to Odell. Lead 4 for crossovers. Scott misses. Bell gets a second look at it, and she does not. Kirsten Bell continues her solid play here in this contest and pulls the Lady Gem Rats to within 1.
Looky here, just a 1-point game. Just a couple of minutes into this third quarter. Gem Rats starting to figure out, starting to find their rhythm here.
Rebound pulled down there by Ross. Ross will get it ahead to McLaughlin. McLaughlin. Like how Coleman contested that shot, but didn't totally sell out on it to where she made it a wide open look for McLaughlin. Still right there in her space.
I like the patience that Crossover has had offensively. You know, they're going to run their stuff, high post. And look here, the patience pays off with another Sydney Archie mid-range jumper.
Archie's been putting on a clinic.
Bell is not shy now, is she?
No. As even Coach Archie said, yeah, she really shot that, my goodness.
And that's a tough one right there by Archie. She's been shooting it well.
Yeah.
You know, but that one, she didn't have her feet underneath her, a little contested. I think an extra pass would have been in order. But right back the other direction, you can't give McLaughlin too many looks at 3, man, and they've tied the game up at 31.
Coming up on the 4-minute mark. That one might have been partially blocked by Ross. Couldn't tell if she got a hand on it or not. But the score was denied. Here's McLaughlin, able to finish around 2 defenders.
You can tell that she's the straw that stirs the drink for this team. Impressive transition here, however, by Crossover.
Yeah.
And Sydney Archie running the floor and being rewarded with the pass.
McLaughlin tries to get consecutive threes. Ellen Ross working hard for the offensive rebound, and she's fouled there on the loose ball. We're tied up at 33 apiece.
Tell you what, I just like Ellen Ross's game.
Yeah.
Just always seems to be in the right spot at the right time. She's not the most talented on this team. She's never going to be the leading scorer, but you've got to have those perfect complement kids to players like McLaughlin, McLaughlin and Beeler and Bowles and the others.
So Archie earns the foul there. Yeah, your leading scorers don't get a shot to do what they do best without players like Ellen Ross. They're going to defend, rebound the ball. A big ingredient in a successful Lady Gem Rat squad. Huge part of the recipe for crossover hoops has been the play of Sydney Archie. She earned that this current trip to the free throw line. Got fouled a couple times there on that drive, and they got the foul call on the third instance. She makes it 35-33 as Baylor leaves that one just short. Archie, I'm to a point that she takes a mid-range. I just expect her to hit it.
Expect it. Count it.
She pushes the lead to 4 points. Bell inside to Dodd. Dodd, extra pass out to Bowles. Bowles in and out on the three-point attempt. Here's Coleman. Wide open Archie for the lay-in. Crossover hoops, goes up by 6. Howard Bass in the corner. No good, but she follows her shot and is able to score. Coach Archie gets a timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. 4-point advantage as the Gym Rats made a run, crossover, trying to respond. Sydney Archie, she's been doing that since tip-off. Knocking mid-range Jays down. Moving on from the timeout, final 2 minutes approaching here in the third quarter. Cut along the baseline by Bell. She'll be fouled. By Taylor.
Crossover hoops had a lead going into halftime. They gave it up within the first few minutes. But hey, they've stuck with it. They battled back, stuck to their game plan. Now they've got a 3-point lead heading into the final minutes of this third quarter. Yep. High post offense right there, and Gatling's done a very good job of passing out of the high post. And those guards, you know, running those circle cuts, you know, down underneath, it can be a little bit difficult to defend.
You won't be able to without communication, as you see.
Sub.
Coleman right there rolling around. They didn't communicate there on the screen. Being set there by Taylor. Active hands by Gatling. Now it's in the hands of Coleman. Seven-point game. Scott has it. Pass broken up there, good hustle by Taylor. Ariel Scott knocks down her first triple since getting the second one of the game when they made it 6-0 early on. Offensive rebound on the inside by number 0, Jasmine Norman. Send Norman to the line. That will do it for the third quarter. It's a 5-point game. See what happens in the fourth. Fourth quarter underway here at PSB Real Deal in the Ville. The Kyle Moore PSB Showcase games rolling here on the final day. Jen Coleman gets it over to Norman. Now here's Taylor. Got the look they wanted. Norman defended inside, can't get the shot to go. Scott, hand and face, ice cream. Splash by Ariel Scott. I don't think you could have defended that three-point shot any better than they did there. Hand was already up.
Yeah, hand was up. You know, when you get into that space with kids like McLaughlin and Scott, you know, when I was coaching, we would use the term or the phrase, you got to make them put it on the floor. You got to make them dribble. You know, having a hand up is not good enough for dead-eye shooters like that. You literally have to get, you know, almost up underneath their chin without fouling, clearly, and make them put it on the floor. Now both of those kids, McLaughlin and Scott, are good enough to put it on the deck, but you'd much rather them put it on the deck than shoot it a three-pointer. Conversely, here you see Beeler getting all the way to the rim. A kid like that, you got to give her an extra half step, if not a full step, because you would prefer her to take the jumper rather than to get into the lane, because Beeler does such a good job not only slashing to score, but also slashing to set up other players. So, you know, not that Beeler can't shoot, you just got to know kids' strengths and weaknesses, and you've got to, you know, just know what you're willing to give up in those terms.
Really got that bucket, and coming out of that last timeout, here goes Danny Riego tell Ariel Scott, Ariel, go for it. I wasn't sure what he was referring to, but I'm thinking maybe that three-point splash had something to do with it. Tied up at 44 apiece. Give me that, says Coleman, and she snatches it away from Dodd, but Scott able to return the favor as she gets the steal. Scott called for a 5-second violation. Just waiting for the screen. But did not establish that buffer in order to prevent the 5-second call. Tied up at 44 apiece. Gatling to Coleman. Foul going to go against Howard Bass. To Dodd. Sydney Dodd headed to the free throw line. I believe our first trip here in the game. Soft touch. Sees the first one land. Lady Gym Rats get a timeout. They are slowly but surely coming, taking a 1-point advantage here with 5:27 remaining on the game clock. Timeout bears fruit as the Lady Gym Rats get a bucket right out of it, taking a 3-point lead. Bell can't get the shot to go. Now here's Coleman. She'll stop and pop. Gets it to go off the window.
I guess that works. Not sure she meant to bank it, but hey, it worked out. On the other side, Beeler, I think she meant to bank that one, and it works out as well, too.
Beeler gets that bucket back to push the lead to 3. Bell gets the step on Archie, drops it off to Dodd for the lay-in.
Bell has a unique skill set, standing at about 6'2". She can put it on the deck, shoot, look at her rebound, handle in the open court, find open teammates.
Quick hands there by Coleman to poke it away, gets it to Archie. Now Coleman will step into it. Minutes, we'll see how Crossover Hoops respond. They've led for the majority of this game, haven't had to respond to being down. Now they find themselves down by 5, which is not a tall hill to climb by any means, but still a different scenario than what they've had to face over the course of this game.
Tough defense there by Gatling, cutting off Ross right there at half court and forces the turnover. Look at the Gym Rats guards rebounding there. Great box outs by their post players. And that's what you want a lot of times on the defensive glass.
Arm straight up by Archie. Ellen Ross able to finish it. now 7 points.
Here it comes. Watch out. Watch out. There it goes. Couldn't convert the lay-in, though.
Had the shot they wanted, couldn't convert. Taylor in and out there. She's been trying to find her three-point stroke throughout this contest. That one looked like it was on the money, but it wouldn't stay down.
The Gym Rats have almost kind of sleptwalked through the first part of this game, but they found their rhythm. They've found some momentum here. And on the other side, Crossover Hoops, which came out with so much energy and shot-making ability early, they've kind of got stuck in the mud here as of late. And hey, the game of basketball is about runs, it's about momentum, and right now the Gym Rats have both of that.
If you had to pick a turning point, what would you say? What sticks out to you, if anything?
You know, I don't think that there's anything. It was just kind of a sea change of events. I can't think of a specific moment. Everybody for the Gym Rats have kind of, you know, had their point. McLaughlin's hit a couple of shots. Scott's hit a couple of shots. You know, on the other end, you know, Archie, who was so good early, I haven't heard much from her here lately.
Yeah, I think it was a sequence that started with the Danny Riego timeout that you mentioned, where he said, guys, I understand you're tired. We played a lot of games. To win Nike Nationals, we have to win X amount of games on 3 days. When the Cal Stars won, they had to play, you know, through X amount of games and still be able to do it. At the end of the day, we're talking about winning Nike Nationals, right?
Right.
So are we going to come out here and find a way to win this, or are we not?
Right.
And his team responded to the challenge. Specifically, Carissa McLaughlin nailed a three, then came down and made a strong baseline drive to get a trip to the free throw line. And I think even though they didn't turn the tide instantly right after that, it was just one of the dominoes that have fallen and led to them being up now.
Good point. Look at Bell. Bell had that great assist down here on the other end, and now she comes up with the block. The 2019 kid is growing up right in front of our eyes.
I did not know she was class of 2019.
Yeah, she's currently not in our prospectsnation.com rankings, but I feel pretty confident to say that that's not going to stay the same for a while.
I just wish she wasn't so shy on the court. I say that tongue-in-cheek. Bell is aggressive. She was looking for Scott there. Her pass was knocked away. Danny Riego says, hey, I can't take these timeouts back on 24 with me. He gets another one. Again, everything is about, it's not just about winning this game, it's about fine-tuning for the continued stretch here in July and a possible Nike Nationals run for Lady Gym Rats trying to get one. This Crossover Hoops team, they've had a lot of good talent on display. You look at Coleman. Coleman and Crudup from the guard position. Sydney Archie has been great. But the Gym Rats trying to cancel that out and make a play happen. Good steal there by Coleman. Working against Biller now, got twisted. Now it's in the hands of Bell. Bell good on the first free throw.
Oh, good drive-by.
Yeah.
such a quick first step there by Crudup. And it wasn't like she was just going by just anybody.
No. Coach Archie telling his team to still play tight, but no foul. Coleman and Crudup still converging on the defensive end. Scott trying to get it to Biller, and Biller somehow still able to keep possession for the Gym Rats. Battle-tested win there for the Gym Rats. They had to dig down deep, a crossover hoop squad that forced them to do so. When you look at how they started the game and the way they played for the majority of it, the Gym Rats find a way to win. Marcus Burnett, he's Jonathan Hemingway. We'll be back with more PSB Real Deal in the Ville broadcast here on SUV TV.